What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Nerd Manual. Today's program is Nerd Rated, and we are talking about songs that purport to be about Spider-Man. I'm including songs that suggest a connection to Spider-Man either in the title or the lyrics, but unlike some internet outlets, I am not including TV show or movie theme songs because, come on, that's just lazy. Put some effort into finding some unique titles, guys. Now, along with my own pithy review of why you should or maybe shouldn't listen to each song, I'm going to give each one 3 ratings. Replay value, which is completely subjective and based on my personal musical taste, so you can throw that out the window if you don't like the same kind of music I do. Heroic stature is based on how well the song captures the comic book hero mythos, but in some cases a song can score higher if it has other heroic elements. Nerd cred is basically a measure of how nerdy the song is and may count nerdy elements that are outside of the comic book world, such as making references to trigonometry or Tolkien. So let's start out with Black Lips and Spidey's Curse. Did you know that Peter Parker was molested in a PSA comic book? He was. And Black Lips made a song about it? Indeed, they did.
So Peter Parker, don't let him mark you. It's so much darker. Don't let him touch you. You don't have to stay.
Yeah, maybe it's not the most profound commentary on comics or molestation. The song lacks the edge Black Lips are known for, but there's still a pretty dark line there in the middle where the teacher looked at everyone.
She saw that our hearts were gone. She saw it in everyone.
Still, I think my favorite part is the voiceover at the end, which, in my headcanon, is a commentary on the satanic influences of Dungeons & Dragons on popular music. But you can draw your own conclusions. My replay value for this song is a 5 of 10 because I like Black Lips, but it's okay. Heroic stature, 7 of 10 because, hey, it's Spider-Man. And nerd cred, definitely 8 of 10 if you know about this particular Spider-Man comic. Katrina and the Waves have their own Spider-Man song. This beautiful paean to falling in love with the heroic ideal could be a metaphor for unrealistic romantic expectations, or just as easily literal. I like to believe it's literal because it's much more entertaining that way. There's not much here to analyze in terms of lyrics, so just let the drums march that song forward through the simple chorus. Again, replay value on this song is a 5 of 10. It's okay, I'm not going to turn it off if it comes on, but I'm not going to go out of my way to play it. Heroic stature is 4 out of 10, simply because it's probably not really about Spider-Man, but in my imagination it is. Nerd cred is only a 2 out of 10 because it really just cashes in on Spider-Man in the title. Moving on, we've got Veruca Salt and Spider-Man 79.
You're so windy, I'd like to pin you down and tack you to the wall.
Does this qualify as a villain song? Maybe I've got this in the wrong nerd-rated program. Where Katrina and the Waves fall in love with the wall crawler, maybe, Veruca Salt may just want him dead. It's a brooding, heavy track full of metal and fuzz and 8 or so different kinds of guitar distortion, and it really is not about Spider-Man the comic book hero at all. But someone should really make a dark comic book series about the narrator.
I'm streaked in grease and grime and idle mouths. You spoiled all my plans.
So the replay value for me is a 7 of 10 because, man, this is a crunchy song. Heroic stature only gets a 3 out of 10. And the nerd cred, again, 2 out of 10 because it's not about Spider-Man. Up next, we're going into hip-hop with Futuristic Spiderman.
Sit while my tanks deploy. Get beast on the mic like Hank McCoy. These rappers ain't thugs. Hold down.
Alright, this is perfect name-dropping hip-hop, weaving an arsenal of Marvel heroes and villains into the flow, and to cap it all off, Futuristic samples audio from the old Spider-Man animated series, just in case you doubted his passion for the web-slinger. While the song's really about Futuristic's own lyrical prowess, not the wall crawler, the fact that he slots Eddie Brock effortlessly into his flow means he's not just bragging.
Parker, I hate these Eddie Brockers. When Venom hit my heart, that's when I get darker. Carnage.
Replay value on this song for me is a 10 of 10. I could listen to this thing over and over. Heroic stature, definitely a 6 out of 10, maybe higher if you count all of the Marvel heroes he name checks. And nerd cred, I think, goes 10 out of 10 simply because of his comic book knowledge. Up next, we got Ramsey Lewis. This track is about as funky as you can get. I think that's a Moog subfatty in the low end of the mix there, and the song's definitely something that could go on the playlist for a road trip. But it's a bit of a con, because the only comic book connection is Spider-Man's name. Of course, if I close my eyes, I can imagine Peter Parker swinging between the buildings to this song. In platform boots. Yeah, so replay value would be an 8 out of 10. I like my funk. Heroic stature, 1. There is no heroism in this at all. Nerd cred, also a 1. I'm gonna throw in They Might Be Giants, even though it's not really about Spider-Man, but I have this vivid imagination of an alternate reality where there's a television show about an American secret agent bitten by a radioactive spider who operates in the shadowy underworld of criminals and villains with overly complicated plans, and there's actually a scene where he's strapped to some awful contraption with lasers and saw blades and things, and the villain says,
I promise not to kill you.
yeah, somebody needs to make that. For me, the replay value is a 10 out of 10 because it's so short, it just hardly takes any time at all to listen to. Heroic stature is 7 out of 10, even if it isn't about our Spider-Man. And nerd cred is 10 out of 10 because, hey, They Might Be Giants is about as nerdy as a band can get. And here's a bonus track just in time for Halloween, The Cure, Lullaby. Now you might wonder why I've got this in here if you just look at the title, but beware. This song is deceptive on so many levels. First, the title. Second, the pizzicato strings that open the song. And Smith's whispered, I spy with my little eye something beginning with S. Might make you wonder if this is simply an off-kilter children's song. There is definitely a Spider-Man. He shows up pretty early on, but he's got nothing to do with Peter Parker. No, this Spider-Man is hungry, and he's having Robert Smith for dinner tonight, and I don't mean as a guest. This is one of my favorite gothic horror tunes of all time, if for no other reason than the line,
Feel like I'm being eaten by 1,000 hungry children friendly holes.
Replay value on this track is 10 out of 10 from me. Heroic stature, definitely a 1 out of 10, and the nerd cred is really only a 3, but if you give it goth cred, this one goes to 11. Hey, thanks for hanging with me, guys. I hope you found this entertaining. If you did, leave a like. If you got questions, be sure to leave them down below. I will catch you guys next time. Be careful out there trick-or-treating. Make sure you take your flashlights.